Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I wanted to ask you about something that has to do with our kids. Whose job is it to properly educate black children? I mean, whose job is it? I mean, whose job is it to make sure that our kids grow up learning how to read, write, and do math? Whose job is it to make sure that our children are raised to be successful in an unfair, racially imbalanced society? Whose job is it to raise black children to be prepared to lead the next generation of the African American community to a place of prosperity and hope and success, as opposed to desperation, begging and borrowing and praying and hoping that things kind of work out if our oppressors decide to be nice to us? I will say this. I don't know exactly whose job you might feel like it is, but I will say that other people are not going to do that job in the way that it needs to be done. White folks are not ever going to care that much about black children to the point where they're going to raise them to be empowered African Americans. Many of them may not see the value in doing so. Many of them may not know how to do it. And so I will tell you whose job I believe that it is. I believe it is our job as a community to raise our children in a successful and effective way. It is our job to make sure that our kids can read and write, that they know their history. It's our job to make sure our kids are empowered to lead as opposed to follow the okie doke or to become supporters of white supremacy and all the other things that are designed to hold them back. So what we did basically was we wanted to create institutional frameworks that are consistent with a couple of the core values that I've espoused to you on multiple occasions. Two things I firmly believe. Number one, every black child in America needs to know how to run a business, even if they choose not to do so. You may find yourself unemployed. You may find yourself needing alternative streams of income. You may find yourself struggling in an economy that is on the decline. Number two, every black child in America should be homeschooled, even if they go to school someplace else. Now, some parents, like Nomalanga Mushali Moses, who teaches a homeschooling class at theblackbusinessschool.com, some parents are choosing to just bring their kids out of the educational system altogether. They're sick of the nonsense. They're sick of getting these stupid reports from teachers telling them that their kids aren't smart enough. They're sick of their children being criminalized and beaten by security guards. They're sick of their children being miseducated with a bunch of Eurocentric ideas that make them into a shadow of who they were meant to be. So these individuals have actually chosen to take their kids out of the system altogether. That's actually the best idea. That's actually the optimal solution, to be honest with you. There are homeschooling communities all over America. Black people are better at educating black children. Black parents are better at educating their own children if they care enough to take the time to do it right. Now, you don't have to take your child out of school entirely, but you at least want to supplement the education. So even if your child's going to school someplace else, you make sure they're getting most of their education at home, that you're teaching them the real deal at home. You're teaching them how to balance a checkbook at home. You're teaching them how to become an adequate husband and father at home. You're teaching your children in your own way so they become what you define them to be, not what a system defines them to be. Systems are not good at creating hardly anything in many cases when it comes to human beings. Systems don't raise children the right way. You put kids in an orphanage, some of them have a lot of issues. Systems are not good for taking care of the elderly. Systems are not good for our health care in America. Systems are not good for educating our kids in America. Most school systems across America are failing. Black teachers who want to do the right thing are being restricted. They're being punished like runaway slaves for trying to teach the black children what they need to know. Well, we can complain about it. We can be mad about it. We can sit around and gripe about it all day, but ain't nobody going to listen. How about we do something about it? So what we did was we pulled together, and I used my own money to do this. It wasn't cheap. It was very expensive to do this. But we created YourBlackEducation.com as a clearinghouse for concerned African-American teachers, activists, educational administrators. Any person of color who cares about black children is invited to come into that space. In fact, you don't even have to be black. as long as you care about black kids and you teach them to become empowered black people. Basically, the space is designed, and we actually got 10,000 subscribers in the first month. So we know this is an issue. We know that people care about this. There is space to do something about this, and we know that we have what it takes to do something about this. The answer is in technology. You see, with the advent of the internet, we have the ability to communicate with each other in ways that we haven't been able to do in all of American history, even world history. So it's up to us to say, how do we creatively use technology to make this happen? Well, with Your Black World, we have about 500,000 to 1 million people that we connect to on various social media platforms: email, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. And we said, you know what? There are a lot of educators out here who want to do something about this system. They just don't know how to do it. They want to get their name out so that people know who they are. They just don't know how to do it. They got a book that they're trying to tell people about. They just don't know how to let people know about their book. I want to help you do that, okay? So if you are an educator, an activist, a teacher, a parent, because you got parents that are just as good as the educators, who has something to say, something constructive you can add to this conversation, something that millions of parents can benefit from, we want you to come to Your Black Education and contribute to the conversation. We want you to come in. We have educators on staff that can interview you and talk to you about whatever topic you want to talk about. And then what we do is we take that interview, we package it together with other news-related content for the black community, and we push it out to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of black people all across the world. Okay? And the ultimate goal is very, very simple. We want to bring together concerned and qualified black educators with concerned and conscientious black parents and allow them to exchange ideas. That is the goal. That is the goal. I have a tremendous amount of respect for black people who care about educating black children. If I were allowed to make a law that said every teacher in America should make $150,000 a year, I would sign it in a minute. Because we know how important your job is, and we also know how frustrating it can be when you've got systems that are not set up to allow you to do what you need to do to educate your babies. Well, we got to go around this. I mean, we can be mad about it, we can complain, and we can do whatever, but it's not going to keep our kids from being destroyed. So that's for if you're interested in being interviewed on the platform, you can email producer@yourbblackeducation.com. That's producer@yourbblackeducation.com, and they can get you interviewed. They can get you on the channel. They can get you on the platform. They can get you out to the audience. And basically, we're just trying to open the door to share our platform space with people that want to educate black children. And so we encourage you to get out here and do it. It's not that hard to set up your webcam, set up your Skype. The interviews are done through Skype. I do a lot of my video stuff with very simple software. I just get on my computer where I just hit record and I can record stuff. And that's really my job, or my goal as an educator, is to use technology to be able to reach people like you. You wouldn't hear about me if you had to wait for CBS, NBC, or ABC to put me on the air. We can put ourselves on the air now. And I want to put black educators on the air who care about black children, as well as, again, activists, parents, anybody who has expertise they can bring to the table. We want you to come on in. We want you to be a part of this. This is a collective effort. We don't have enough money to build an actual physical school or anything like that. I wish we did, because if we had the money, we'd do it. But we do have, we did invest maybe $30,000 building the technology out so that educators and parents can communicate. Because I get emails every day from parents saying, "What do I do about my son? He's been defined as ADHD. I don't think that he is, but I don't know what to do next." Or my daughter keeps failing her math class, and I think the teacher is mistreating her. Who do I talk to about that? We want to bring together educators who can answer those questions. So that's what it's all about. So remember, the email address is producer@yourbblackeducation.com. If you care about this issue, you are also welcome to visit. Please go to the site. Please subscribe. Again, we get probably, maybe 200 subscribers a day. So people care about this issue, and I want to try to do something about it, and this is my contribution to that effort. So until we meet again, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless. I am gone. Peace.